Let us understand case studies. Very important component because number one, it carries 120 marks. और इस पे जितना आप एफर्ट डालेंगे, जितना प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, उतना ही मार्क्स के पर्सपेक्टिव में you will get return. No other part of GS paper you can directly point out कि इतना सिलेबस है और इसमें से 120 मार्क्स आना है. So case studies are high return on investment. और हम करते क्या हैं? How much time we do otherwise spend on case studies? Bare minimum, है ना? लास्ट में आप लोग क्या करते होंगे, जिन्होंने मेंस दिया है या जिन्होंने मेंस के लिए पढ़ा है? आई थिंक लाइक माधवी एज फॉर एग्जांपल. माधवी, जब आपने केस स्टडीज अपने मेंस के अटेम्प्ट में किया था, एट बेस्ट दैट यू मस्ट हैव डन इज कि केस स्टडीज पढ़ लिया आपने, उसके सोल्यूशन, है ना? एक दो लिखा आपने, लेकिन बहुत सारे केस स्टडीज पढ़े आपने, राइट? फिर जो यूपीएससी में केस स्टडी मिला, दैट वाज nowhere close to whatever you studied. आप लिंक नहीं कर पाए. And many of you who otherwise write case studies, the first biggest challenge is to understand the theme of the case study, कि एक्चुअली में ये किस चीज पर है. वरना केस स्टडी को सॉल्व करना तो बहुत प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन की बात है ना? मोस्ट ऑफ यू कैन राइट अ वेरी गुड सोल्यूशन, क्योंकि वो प्रैक्टिकल सोल्यूशन के बजाय आइडियल सोल्यूशन लिखना है. आप सभी लोग आइडियल लिख देते हैं. नहीं, मैं ऐसा कर दूंगा, अगर मंदिर मस्जिद की लड़ाई है तो मैं 2 फ्लोर में बनवा दूंगा, ऊपर मंदिर, नीचे मस्जिद, उसके ऊपर गुरुद्वारा, लिफ्ट भी लगवा देंगे, 4 लिफ्ट, ऑल एवरीथिंग इम्प्रैक्टिकल. सो दैट इज प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, दैट इज वन पार्ट ऑफ केस स्टडी. हमको लगता है कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग ही केस स्टडी है. सो व्हाई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग इज नॉट द एंटायर केस स्टडी? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल मी?
Sir, if it would have been that simple, then it wouldn't have been an entire paper. And also, there wouldn't be any problems in the society.
Okay. So, number one, you ask me a problem, I tell you the solution. Are you just satisfied with the solution? Any solution has to be justified, है ना? Why will you apply it? I tell you कि इकोनॉमिक्स को इससे पढ़ लीजिए. आधे लोग सिर्फ इसलिए नहीं अप्लाई करेंगे कि I mean half of you will not get good marks in economics. You did not apply my method क्योंकि आपने उसको चेक करा नहीं, अप्लाई करके देखा नहीं. और कोई आपको फिर सोल्यूशन दे रहा है तो रिस्क आपके ऊपर है ना. दैट सोल्यूशन मे वर्क और दैट सोल्यूशन मे नॉट वर्क. सो justification why this solution is valid or better than others. So there may be legal justifications. Legal में constitution and other laws, उसका हवाला देंगे आप. There may be philosophical justification. You will quote from philosophies, philosophy of tolerance, Dalai Lama, Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, सूफी, भक्ति मूवमेंट, XYZ philosophical justification देंगे आप problems के लिए. Obviously it is an ethics paper, so ethical justifications. Ethics is always two competing right issues. Ethics is never about one right and one wrong. That is not an ethical dilemma. कि एक चीज सही है और एक चीज गलत है, उसमें कभी डिलेमा नहीं होता. एक ही चीज को करने के कई रास्ते हैं, उसमें डिलेमा होता है। वी वांट ग्रोथ ऑल्सो, वी वांट टू प्रोटेक्ट नेचर ऑल्सो। सिर्फ नेचर को प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे तो गरीबी जो है वो, वी कैन नॉट रिड्यूस पॉवर्टी एट अ फास्ट रेट, वी कैन नॉट इम्प्रूव द लाइव्स ऑफ पीपल। और अगर हम सिर्फ पॉवर्टी रिडक्शन और इसके लिए करेंगे तो it will come at the cost of nature. So what do we go for then when we try to balance both of them? क्या रास्ता निकालते हैं हम? इकोनॉमिक्स, इकोनॉमिक्स और इन्वायरमेंट के बीच का रास्ता, व्हाट इज दैट?
Sustainable development.
सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट। तो सी, जस्टिफिकेशन पार्ट इज वेरी वेरी एसेंशियल इन एथिक्स। एथिक्स खुद 3 पिलर्स पे बट है, ईथोस, लोगोस एंड पैथोस। लोगोस इज लॉजिक, बिना लॉजिक के कुछ भी एक्सेप्ट नहीं होगा। पैथोस इज इमोशन। आपको लोगों से जरूरत है कि पीपल शुड स्टॉप डेफिकेटिंग इन द ओपन। सिर्फ कानून लगा के भारत में कुछ नहीं होगा। सो आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू सॉ दोज एडवर्टीजमेंट्स वेयर द गर्ल सेड शी वुड नॉट मैरी, इस घर में तो टॉयलेट नहीं है। वो एडवर्टीजमेंट देखा होगा ना आपने? नहीं देखा है?
ये सर देखा सर।
Yes, sir.
हाँ, एक एडवर्टीजमेंट आता है ना जिसमें द गर्ल गोज बैक या फिर द गर्ल रिजेक्ट्स की इस घर में नहीं, इसमें तो टॉयलेट नहीं है। व्हाट आर दे ट्राइंग टू अपील टू? या फिर वो मुकेश वाला एड, आई नो दिस विल अपील मोर टू सुपर सीनियर बैच। मुकेश जो बेड से डेथ्स बेड अपना कन्फेशन देते हैं, ये मुकेश है, ये और जिंदा रह सकते थे। दी हार्मफुल इफेक्ट्स ऑफ स्मोकिंग एंड ड्रिंकिंग। So is it appealing to your logic or is it appealing to your emotion? Because your logic tells कि अरे नहीं नहीं, I am तो taking Marlboro very high refined, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ये मुकेश तो बीड़ी पीता होगा इसलिए हो गया है ना। Your logic is telling you that. Then you will Google also बीड़ी versus Marlboro. Google will come up with a sponsored article. Marlboro reduces the chances of cancer by 85%. You will be very very happy. अच्छा, कैंसर के चांस 85% कम हो गए? अरे यार, किससे कम हो गए? होने से ना। So then again, data manipulation, all these things. So logic, emotion, ethos, ethical principles like dharma for example, तो ये तीनों आपको देना पड़ेगा। इन्हीं तीनों पे बेस्ड है आपका एबीसी मॉडल भी। व्हाट इज एबीसी मॉडल?
Attitude, behavior, action.
एटीट्यूड, बिहेवियर, एक्शन के बजाय एफेक्शन, effective, conative and behavioral. So why problem solving is not the entirety of your case studies? Because every solution requires a justification, legal justification, philosophical justification, ethical justifications. You can quote through examples, justification through examples, historical examples, current examples, any kind of example that will again be used for justifying. So is this part clear कि ये केस स्टडीज में जो आप लोग सोल्यूशन लिखते हैं स्टेप्स, वो सिर्फ एक पार्ट है केस स्टडी का, उसको आपको इस फॉर्म में जस्टिफाई करना है? यस?
Yes, sir.
ओके। सो हैविंग सेड दैट, नाउ दिस देन बिकम्स द मेजर इशू। ये इशू को एक्चुअली में टैकल करना है, हम इसी में फंस जाते हैं। प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग और उसके जस्टिफिकेशन ये इशू ही नहीं है। यू आर वेल रेड एंड और एथिक्स आप बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे भी, तो उसमें कोई समस्या नहीं है। समस्या ये है कि थीम को कैसे करें, केस स्टडी के थीम को कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें, सो दैट यू कैन राइट प्रिपेयर्ड कंटेंट। एटलीस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द केस स्टडी शुड बी अ प्रिपेयर्ड कंटेंट। तो उसके लिए एथिक्स का सिलेबस जो है बहुत अच्छे से याद होना। you should know the ethics syllabus, कि क्या क्या कंपोनेंट एथिक्स के सिलेबस में लिखा है, क्या उसका मीनिंग है. दिस हैज ग्रेट एप्लीकेशन. आपका जो केस स्टडी है, इट इज एक्चुअली एन एक्सटेंशन ऑफ योर एथिक्स सिलेबस. इफ यू डोंट नो द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ योर सिलेबस, द कंटेंट्स ऑफ योर सिलेबस, केस स्टडी में आप पकड़ ही नहीं पाएंगे कि किस चीज पे पूछा है. सो लाइक यस्टरडे इन इकोनॉमिक्स वी डिस्कस्ड कि इकोनॉमिक्स का सिलेबस जानना बहुत जरूरी है. इट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू डिस्कस दी और टू रीड दी एथिक्स सिलेबस. ऐसा हो जाए आप लोगों के कि नेक्स्ट हम जब केस स्टडी डिस्कस करें और अगर मैं आप लोगों से पूछूं 1 2 3 4, तो आप लोग मुझे एथिक्स का सिलेबस यहाँ लिखवा दें. ओके, कैन आई एक्सपेक्ट दैट डिग्री ऑफ फिनेस इन द नेक्स्ट अपकमिंग केस स्टडी क्लासेस?
Yes, sir.
So all of you go and through a fine tooth comb. Yesterday I missed this. So you go and literally mug the ethics syllabus till a comma, full stop, next topic, previous topic पूरा याद रहे. Because I will then explain to you the significance of that case study through through the significance of the syllabus through various case studies. अब वहां पर देखिए ऐसे लिखा हुआ है, sources of ethics, law, conscience, rules, etc. So aren't these all three sources of ethics? अब यूपीएससी ने कभी क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया, how sometimes law and ethics they work against each other. Give examples. UPSC asked, give examples where law and ethics are against each other. This was around 2016 20. That time section 377 had not been decriminalized. बहुत courts में चल रहा था वो. So what could we have written? Criminalization of homosexuality. Is it legal? Decriminalization that time? Yes. Is it ethical? No. बट जब ये आप नो लिख रहे हैं तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा ना कि भाई तुम कानून से भी ज्यादा बोल रहे हो तो कैसे. हाउ डू यू जस्टिफाई? देन यू विल टेल अबाउट फॉर एग्जांपल योग्यकर्ता प्रिंसिपल्स, इंटरनेशनली रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इंटरनेशनल प्रिंसिपल्स. योग्यकर्ता, योर राइट टू सेल्फ डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन. आप बताएंगे कि आप मेल हैं कि फीमेल हैं और समवेयर इन बिटवीन. सेल्फ डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन, योग्यकर्ता प्रिंसिपल. Other things also you will be justifying. For example, Indian architecture में if it is a question about discrimination etc, there is the concept of Ardh Narishwar. Both Shiva and Parvati, they are shown in architectural structures. So such kind of justification you will have to bring. Okay. अब ये लॉ, कॉन्शियंस और रूल दिया हुआ है. कई बार क्या होगा कि लॉ is not favoring suppose a poor man. Maybe there is no law, law is silent, or law is against him. He suppose does not have the required documents, suppose for getting pension or ration card. So what will come in its place then? Conscience. अब यहाँ पर ऐसा नहीं है कि आप फिर ये करेंगे कि नहीं नहीं तुम ये पैसा लो बाद में पेपर बनवाते रहना. As a bureaucrat you cannot do, but because your conscience is also a source of your ethics, so you will expedite his process. जो ये वैसे 10 दिनों में बनवाते हैं, आप पहले उनका वहां पर कागज तुरंत इमीडिएटली बनवा दीजिए और टेक एन एफिडेविट, टेक सम प्रोसेस एक्सेट्रा, so that service is not, and that service is a basic human dignity in that case. When that service is in the form of basic human dignity, that is not denied to any person for want of any proof. है ना? वरना प्रूफ में तो आपको ये भी बताना पड़ेगा कि कौन कहाँ पैदा हुआ, उसका भी प्रूफ चाहिए. ओके, सो नाउ आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि जब हम नेक्स्ट टाइम नेक्स्ट सेशन में मिलेंगे तो आप लोग मुझे एथिक्स का सिलेबस बताइएगा। अभी का जो केस स्टडी है उसको देख लेते हैं। द केस स्टडी दैट वाज गिवन, इट इज दिस वन, नो? यही वाला है ना?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. In your personal life, you are a religious person and strongly believe in preservation of socio-cultural belief. What is first line telling me? क्या हिंट दे रहा है? बोलिए, क्या लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे?
Article
Personal
20.
versus professional.
Personal, yes. So there is a topic, personal ethics versus professional
Ethics.
हाँ, personal values versus professional ethics या personal ethics versus professional values. As a doctor, you may not like people who create violence, etc. You may hate Ajmal Kasab. Sorry, as a person, you may hate Ajmal Kasab. He's a Pakistani, he's a terrorist, he has killed innocent men. But when Ajmal Kasab is brought for saving his life, as a doctor, you have Hippocratic oath. That is, what is Hippocratic oath? Any doctor here?
So to treat them irrespective of what
Yes,
from where they belong.
correct. A doctor takes oath to save life, irrespective of their circumstances, gender, caste, religion, etc. Anything else. So long as he is a doctor, he has to save life. Now this becomes more of a concern again in case of abortion, because a doctor's oath says he has to save life. तो किसी केस में फिर abortion justified होगा? What will be the justification for abortion then?
When there is threat to life
Yes,
of
when there is threat to mother's life, when there is serious abnormality in the fetus, है ना? So generally a conservative argument against abortion will be doctor cannot take life. Same would be for euthanasia, especially euthanasia की spelling बताओ.
UTHA.
UTHA NASI NE. Okay. Euthanasia. Okay. Especially active euthanasia, जिसमें actively you are giving some injection, etc. Or even passive euthanasia when you are withdrawing life support. Now again, is it against doctor's Hippocratic oath?
yes, sir.
Yes, because doctor cannot take life. तो आप अपने ethics के answers में ये दोनों perspective लिखेंगे, for or against. You will write both and then you will choose a path. क्योंकि अगर सिर्फ एक path होता तो वो फिर dilemma या debate की बात ही नहीं रहती. Generally, I find in the answers only one way is written. If that was the case, then why was that question asked? If there is only one way to solve that problem. So there will be multiple ways and you have to choose the best way and justify that. तो आप एक solution बताएंगे, दो solution बताएंगे, तीन solution बताएंगे, finally you will choose, I choose two because A, B, C, D reason. Okay. So personal ethics versus professional values. You are a religious person, strongly believe in preservation of socio-cultural beliefs. Preservation of socio-cultural beliefs से यहाँ पर some of the beliefs may be right, some of the beliefs may be wrong. So this opens up to another topic, stereotype and
Prejudice.
Prejudices again mentioned in the syllabus. अच्छा मुझे अभी ये बताइए, अभी the people who are sitting, कितने लोगों को ये terms नए लग रहे हैं, stereotype and prejudice? Tell me honestly. मतलब इंग्लिश में नहीं कि ये एथिक्स में भी है, ऐसा एथिक्स में भी लिखा हुआ है. चलिए, at least nobody is going to be honest in a ethics class. That is a good start.
तो नहीं तो नहीं लग रहे, बट क्वेश्चन लिखते वक्त याद नहीं आते ऐसी चीजें.
स्टार्ट याद नहीं आया क्वेश्चन लिखते.
हाँ
ठीक है.
सर. Applicability.
See, applicability can be learnt. आप एक बार डेडिकेटेडली सिलेबस को जब देखिए तो उसमें थोड़ा सा ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग कीजिए. स्टीरियोटाइप लिखा है तो ट्राई टू थिंक ऑफ द वेरियस स्टीरियोटाइप्स दैट यू हैव. आप लोगों को लगता है कि यार ये सब काम करने में बहुत मेरा टाइम वेस्ट हो जाएगा, करते क्या हो आप लोग पूरे दिन? All of you are well aware of the number of mosquitoes in your study room. That is your level of concentration. Other than which page of Lakshmikant you are on right now. सबको पता है कि 2 मच्छर एक्स्ट्रा है रूम में. पढ़ने के अलावा सारी सुविधा चाहिए, है ना. चेयर का थोड़ा सा एंगल इधर उधर हो जाएगा, नीड अ न्यू चेयर. Now from ethics I am not giving example of people who studied in street lamp and succeeded in life. I was seeing some YouTube clipping. There is a corrupt मतलब dishonest officer, a delinquent officer. He keeps troubling his junior. और वो फिर उसमें कहता है कि तुम्हें पता नहीं कि ये कितनी मुश्किल से एग्जाम निकाला जाता है, मैंने स्ट्रीट लाइट के नीचे पढ़ाई करके ये पेपर निकाला था. देन दैट गाय सेज, तो भाई मुझे क्यों परेशान कर रहे हो, आपने अगर स्ट्रीट लाइट के नीचे पढ़ के निकाला था. बट द आइडिया इज गेट आउट ऑफ योर व्हाट. Please get out of your comfort zone. All of us, irrespective of wherever we are in our preparation, good, bad, worse, all of us are in the comfort zone. Even if your preparation is going good, you are still in your comfort zone. You are not doing more than what you should. So coming back to your recent posting as an IS officer has brought you to a district with a widely revered shrine. एकदम मजा आ गया आपको तो. Shortly after you take charge, you find considerable tension building in the district on the question of women's entry in the shrine. In this backdrop, the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of women being allowed to enter the shrine. You are aware that there is considerable resentment. Now the legal position is clear. Highest authority for you. For an IPS, highest authority is not God. Highest authority is
The law.
yes, Supreme Court's decision. So this is your highest authority. You are aware that there is considerable resentment against the decision. Additionally, several political parties, religious bodies, so these are pressure groups. Persuasion topic जो है यहाँ कहीं ना कहीं फिर comes in the picture. There is requirement of social persuasion क्योंकि political parties हैं, religious bodies हैं, लोगों की भावना है, भावना आहत हो गई है, considerable resentment है. So they have launched a campaign to defend the tradition. In few weeks, the traditional annual pilgrimage is going to commence. You suspect that if the situation is not diffused, it may lead to law and order problem. Now this becomes a professional problem for you. What are the key issues at stake here? First part is, what are the key issues at stake? So tell me, key issues at stake. बताइए एक एक करके.
So maybe constitutional morality versus customary morality. Constitution morality and customary morality.
Okay, number one is constitutional morality versus customary morality.
Sir, religious rights versus gender rights.
Individual versus group rights. क्योंकि रिलीजियस राइट्स विमेन का भी प्रे करने के लिए है और रिलीजियस डिनोमिनेशन का भी है. आर्टिकल 25 वर्सेस आर्टिकल 26. 25 gives right to individuals to practice, profess and propagate their religion. 26 gives right to religious. क्योंकि ये डिबेट क्यों है? 26 very clearly says religious denominations have the right to practice and manage their own affairs, है ना? So the shrine will decide who will enter and who will not. Maybe the judges took me lord as something seriously. Anyways, so
there was there is a gender angle also, no, to this, sir. I mean,
okay, one issue is gender justice. Women empowerment. What else?
Right to express resentment against the court decision. Right to express resentment against the court decision.
Right to express resentment against
Court decision.
देखिए यहाँ अगर आप पेपर में ऐसा लिख देंगे ना तो एग्जामिनर को आपका बायस पता चल गया, तो इसलिए हम नहीं लिखेंगे. Is
Sir,
it
law and order
is
issue.
let me just clarify that position. Do you have the right to protest against Supreme Court's decision?
But anyone can express their views against the decision.
Expressing view is different.
I'm telling about the expressing view, Article 19(1).
Why would you express that? The only way you can get it corrected is through review petition, curative petition, etc. This had this been a law, parliament, etc., people could have done. But if it is Supreme Court, expressing your opinion, that is, मतलब यहाँ पे कुछ बहुत relevant तो नहीं है.
But in the question, like it mentions that the pressure groups are showing resentment. So
resentment, that means that they are protesting, है ना, the court's decision.
Yes. So as an
Should not
IPS
be the
officer,
case. You cannot protest the Supreme Court. ये इंडिया में एक फैशन बन गया है right to protest में because of lack of political will, that you can protest against the law on the street. You have right to protest against maybe parliamentary laws but not court's decisions. कोर्ट का तो आपको कोर्ट में ही तय करना पड़ेगा ना. Regarding expressing your opinion, constructive criticism of the court, etc., those things are fine, but these groups, they are planning to launch a movement, है ना? Now in ethics we should not open that debate that do citizens have the right to protest against Supreme Court decisions. Okay, that is a much larger question that perhaps courts may be nahi hai, if you are pointing towards that. Does right to protest in its ambit also include protest against Supreme Court decisions, है ना? That is your doubt?
kind of, but like वो contempt of court के दायरे में रह के और dignity of court के दायरे में रह के and without disturbing the peace and harmony, if they want to protest and assemble peacefully, then they have the right to protest and assemble peacefully.
They have the right to protest and assemble peacefully against court's decision, that is fine. You are saying that court gives a decision, then people protest against it and do it peacefully, for example. Is that the way the judiciary or the law in judiciary functions? Because your protest will have a purpose, right? Are you protesting just to make a standpoint? Because then that is what it will be. Your protest, does it have any bearing on the court's decision? Will the court change its view because of your protest?
So
तो ये पार्लियामेंट्री लॉ के साथ हो सकता है, बिकॉज पार्लियामेंट इज लेजिस्लेटर who legislators elected by the people, they have to express the will of the people. वहां पर कानून चेंज हो सकता है, वहां आप प्रोटेस्ट कर सकते हैं. बट प्रोटेस्टिंग अगेंस्ट द कोर्ट्स डिसीजन, that is just protest in itself, and I don't think it is justified, है ना? क्योंकि आपके प्रोटेस्ट का कोई पर्पस नहीं है अदर देन द एनीवेज. अगेन इतने सारी चीजें हम एथिक्स में नहीं डिस्कस करेंगे, क्योंकि वो फिर वी विल बी डेविएटिंग फ्रॉम एथिक्स टुवर्ड्स लॉ. चलिए इसके अलावा और बताइए की इश्यूज एट स्टेक.
So there's this also the conflict between personal belief and professional, like the duty.
Okay, yes. यहाँ पर there is also issue of law versus conscience or conscience. Personally, you are a religious person, but you have to obey the law. So there may be issue of law versus conscience or personal versus professional. What else?
So there is an immediate chance of immediate
Correct.
violence.
Correct.
Another issue.
Most important issue, imminent law and order concern. Eminent law and order concern, which will check your aptitude, civil service aptitude, क्योंकि आप प्रोफेशनली हायर ही हुए हैं ऐसे सिचुएशंस को फ्यूज करने के लिए. एनी अदर इशू एट स्टेक? उसमें आप बहुत सारे इश्यूज जो है इसी में एक्सप्लेनेशन में लिख सकते हैं, जैसे जेंडर जस्टिस वगैरह हमने लिखे. अब इसको आपको एक्सप्लेन कर देना की इश्यूज में. जब आपने लिखा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोरालिटी वर्सेस कस्टमरी मोरालिटी, तो इसका क्या मतलब है. नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. डू यू सी एनी डिलेमास इन द अनफोल्डिंग सिचुएशन? तो ये तो हमने पहले वाले में लिख लिया. नाउ आई, अब एथिक्स में ऐसा भी कई बार होता है कि सेकंड क्वेश्चन का फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में लिख देते हैं, तो इसलिए वी हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल. नाउ हम इसको ऐसे वर्ड नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि ये सारे डिलेमास ही है ना. दिस इज डिलेमा, दिस इज डिलेमा. सो की इश्यूज एट स्टेक में वी विल राइट एमिनेंट लॉ एंड ऑर्डर कंसर्न, we will write gender issue, gender justice, etc. We will be writing courts, Supreme Court's orders. So established law on the subject. Okay. Now to the second part, ethical dilemmas unfolding. Here you will be writing some of the points that we wrote above. For example, morality, customary versus constitutional. This is recognized by society, this is recognized by law. And you will give examples. For example, for any social evil or for any social reform to take place, mere law is not enough if it is not accepted by the society. Okay. You will give examples. For example, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He began a movement for abolition of sati pratha. Yes. He began a social movement. Later it was recognized as law by
William Bentinck.
William Bentinck. So what began as a socio-religious reform movement got recognized in law. That is how things happen in Indian society. Top down approach नहीं हो सकता. Then individuals rights versus group rights. Here you will quote Article 25 and Article 26, right of religious denomination to manage their own affairs versus rights of an individual to practice, profess and propagate their own religion. Both of them are coming in dilemma, which one should be preferred. Then conscience versus law. या conscience मत लिखिएगा क्योंकि then you are favoring जब conscience versus law लिखिएगा तो दो चीजें हो जाती हैं. First of all, you are ascribing gender to this person. कहीं भी केस स्टडी में मेंशन है कि she is a woman और he is a man. बताइए.
सर ये पॉइंट नहीं समझा.
इस केस स्टडी में अगर कहीं पर कहां पर लिखा है कि ये जो आईपीएस ऑफिसर हैं या यू एग्जामिनर डज नॉट नो you are male or female, right?
Yes.
Now ideally we would consider that क्योंकि women की entry temples में नहीं allowed है, so if women are entering, so all women will be entering, right? And then you will write this answer from a man's perspective, है ना? क्योंकि you will consider this IPS officer to be a man, therefore only you will write conscience versus law. तो आप ऐसा मत लिखिए कॉन्शियंस वर्सेस लॉ, क्योंकि उससे फिर आपका बायस पता चल जाएगा कि आप फेवर में है जो रिलीजियस डिनोमिनेशन है उनके. सो स्पेशली द मेल एस्पिरेंट्स, दे विल एग्जामिनर विल रिकॉग्नाइज दैट यू आर अ मेल एस्पिरेंट. तो उसके बजाय आप क्या
कैसे पता लगा जेंडर?
भाई आपने अगर लिखा कि कॉन्शियंस और लॉ का इसमें लॉ तो बहुत क्लियर है ना, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो बोल दिया, बट आपका कॉन्शियंस डिलेमा में है. क्यों? क्योंकि आप क्या है, इन योर पर्सनल लाइफ यू आर अ रिलीजियस पर्सन. अगर तो दोनों कॉन्शियंस और लॉ दोनों फेवर में होते, सो यू वुड हैव अलाउड वुमेन और यू वुड हैव नॉट अलाउड वुमेन. बोलिए.
Not allowed.
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 So see here, if you are writing your conscience is versus the law, so you are telling the examiner that as a religious person you don't want women to enter. Now examiner will say this person is a male aspirant, you should not have that position, क्योंकि आप एग्जाम में नहीं. हाँ.
So then
आप
what is the significance of the line mentioned here in the question that you strongly believe in the preservation of social cultural beliefs?
हाँ, तो हम यहाँ पर preservation of socio cultural belief में I will be mentioning this part slightly in different way. Rather than writing conscience versus, आप यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे, personal values versus professional ethics.
Can we also mention like legal versus ethical?
Legal versus,
Ethical.
again writing legal versus ethical. So is it ethical, unethical that women are entering? I don't want you to take that position. इसीलिए तो मैंने conscience versus law को हटवा दिया.
Okay sir.
क्योंकि ये फैसला हम एग्जाम में नहीं करेंगे. I made this mistake in that year. I got 76 marks only in my ethics paper where I tried to explain a standpoint on caste. वो एग्जामिनर को ना समझना है, वो एग्जामिनर चाहते थे कि मैं ऐसा लिखूं, whatever may be his biases, I did not go in his or her mind, but I immediately after that paper I realized I should not have written this, and penalty इसका सीधा मिल गया उस पेपर में. Although that year some IPS officer had cheated in his exam, तो सबको ethics के पेपर में धोया गया था उस साल में. But where the average marks my friends got 90, I got 76, जिनको मैं ethics पढ़ा रहा था. For one reason that I found out, the justification that I was writing on caste discrimination. आपको नहीं बनना है वहां पर. गांधी जी का पॉइंट, in a 150 mark answer you cannot justify. So again, when you said कि law versus ethics, then again examiner found अच्छा तुमको ethical problem है women enter करेंगी तो. और दूसरे लोग जो दूसरी साइड इमोशनल होके कह रहे हैं नो women should enter. Again, it is more easily defensible in an ethics paper in UPSC. It is not so easily defensible in the outside world. There are several reasons, it would require a lot of understanding, not just an Instagram post. But in an ethics paper, it is easy to defend women's rights in this context. Yes, equality does not mean man is equal to women in all the spheres. Women are having more rights in some of the spheres, more responsibilities in some of the spheres. Men are having some rights and responsibilities and some privileges which women are not having. But that goes for both sides. This you cannot express in the exam. क्योंकि ना आपके पास स्पेस है, ना एग्जामिनर आपसे एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है. You are a parrot who is trained to say men equal to women, gender right, gender justice. है ना? But Aditya,
Understood, sir.
you will not like a woman to call you dude, right? Or bro, है ना? Or is it okay with you?
It's okay, sir. Okay,
Eh?
okay, sir.
Why so many compromises यार? अच्छा कुछ तो बोले मतलब कम से कम है.
बोले वही रहते.
This is the expectation that has fallen up to. No worries. So see again, these things in case study, ये case study का session लेने का एक important कारण यही है that our biases come out in the open. Very small biases which may be very glaring. For example, conscience versus law versus ethics, ऐसा नहीं है. ये ethics का एकदम outrightly ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं women को तो जाने से unethical हो जाएगा, है ना? Section 377 was a clear ethical concern because some people were denied basic rights because of the law. Here you are denying rights and calling it an ethical issue. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, है ना? तो फिर ये headings के अंदर आप पूरे sentences लिखेंगे और इसको describe करेंगे. इसके अलावा और क्या ethical dilemma unfolding है? अच्छा, की इशू एट स्टेक में एक वो भी है, पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर. भाई यू आर ऑल्सो एन आईपीएस ऑफिसर. योर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव हेड इज अ पॉलिटिकल मास्टर, है ना? So it is very
Yes.
important to maintain your impartiality, neutrality. When your political master is like, don't allow. Now, any other ethical dilemma unfolding? Some ethical dilemmas you can write out of the subject also. For example, belief versus reason, or science versus religion. Although it is an absurd thing to write science versus religion for very simple reason. A temple by definition is it a secular place or a non-secular place?
Non-secular.
So your secular values don't apply in a temple for a very fundamental reason that it is a non-secular place. वो भगवान का घर है, and there you will apply secular values, so it won't work. So, but this definitely you can write. You can't believe in anything just because of, एक सेंटेंस में आपको बहुत बार लिखवाता हूं, law because of majesty and religion because of divinity cannot be a ground for acceptance or sanctity. Just because the mighty passes a law, it does not make the law just. And just because religion appeals to divinity, कि भगवान ऐसा कह रहे, that again cannot be a reason for its sanctity. There has to be in the light of reason. So belief versus reason, you definitely can write. This maybe not so. Okay.
So
Huh.
there is one more issue that I don't know whether it's ethical or a key issue, but political groups and religious groups are very influential members of society, which can lead to a bigger problem because women are a historically discriminated against group anyway.
So I think we wrote that individual right versus group right ना. तो और जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन तो हमने की इशू दैट स्टेक में लिख दिया, वहां ये सारी चीजें आप लिख देंगे. विमेन आर डिस्क्रिमिनेटेड इन पर्सनल लॉज, in inheritance, etc., guided by personal laws, in succession, all those things.
Yes, sir, but I'm
Yes.
saying one group is disproportionately more powerful in society.
Which group is that?
The political and religious groups.
As compared to women groups?
As compared to any vulnerable section that will come for its
I'm
right.
just playing the devil's advocate here. How many women went to Sabrimala? Off the topic. There was one woman who used to post YouTube videos.
Yes, sir. Many NGOs and all, they did organize trips.
Is that a picnic place?
No, as in they organized trips as in group में security के लिए.
So see, this again, this thing we cannot write, but we are treating women as a homogeneous group. That when I write women, this is the view of all women, that they have to enter Sabrimala. Is that the right view?
No, sir. Some will go. They will go according
Correct.
to their own beliefs.
Yes. So women also are then discriminated when their religious views that Sabrimala में its practices should be maintained. अच्छा, ये सबरीमला वगैरह आप एग्जाम्पल में लिखिएगा, बट ये नहीं कि सबरीमला पे ही बना दीजिएगा. Do mention that, for example, in Sabrimala, in Hajj, sorry, Hajj नहीं, हाजी दरगाह etc. Recently, अगर आप आज की डेट में आए हो तो आप जामा मस्जिद में लिख देते etc. So you write these examples, but not this as the tone of your answer, क्योंकि you don't have to take any religious denominations position. But this part also you cannot write that women will mean all women. There will be majority, minority, I don't know that part, but there will be definitely a fraction of women who would like to protect their cultural beliefs enshrined in that temple. है ना?
सर
हाँ.
वो लॉ बाय मैजेस्टी एंड रिलीजन बाय डिग्निटी का कोट एक बार रिपीट कर दीजिए.
This is a quote by Immanuel Kant. You can write Immanuel. Yeah, he says law because of its majesty and religion on its grounds of divinity cannot be the reason for their sanctity.
While mentioning key issues and ethical dilemmas, do we have to write them in just bullet points, or do we have to write 2-3 lines?
नहीं,
also?
you have to explain. You write the bullet point and then explain. Explain, proper explanation, examples, etc. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Any other ethical dilemma unfolding?
सर ट्रेडिशनलिटी वर्सेस सोशल रिफॉर्म्स किस में आएगा?
कर सकते हैं आप. Modernity versus conservatism, या conservatism is a negative word, preservation of culture. क्योंकि लिखा हुआ है कि you are a person who believes in preservation of socio-cultural. Now here you can definitely write modernity does not mean binary view of all aspects of culture. Okay. But once again, I am telling you, under no circumstances your biases should be visible. You should definitely support A, it is Supreme Court's decision. B, it is allowing on prima facie. You and I don't know which shrine they are talking about. Maybe this shrine is actually discriminating women on wrong grounds. तो आपने ये नहीं मानना है कि ये सबरीमला का ही इशू है. Even if Sabrimala issue, I have an opinion, you have an opinion. Even when you are mentioning Sabrimala, you will at least mention in this paper that women should be allowed. और यहाँ तो temple mentioned ही नहीं है, तो there may be some temple whose discrimination itself is wrong, because Sabrimala is not saying women also, है ना? They are saying women in a particular age bracket. If I am not wrong, 10 to 50 or something like that, right? I don't exactly know the. Basically, women in reproductive age, right?
Yes, sir.
This was wrongly misconstrued against menstruation, or people extended it to consider it as untouchability, etc. That is a very wrong reading of or wrong understanding of your own culture. I think there is some temple in Assam, I think Kamakhya temple, if I'm not wrong, where
Yes,
there is Ambu Bachi festival.
Yes, sir.
Although in this exam we cannot write इस क्वेश्चन में, क्योंकि फिर वो एग्जामिनर लगेगा कि भाई आप अपना बायस, अपनी भड़ास निकाल रहे हैं, वो नहीं निकालना है, क्योंकि आपको पता नहीं है कि ये किस टेंपल में है और वाकई में वो टेंपल का प्रैक्टिस डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी है कि नहीं. सो ऑन बैलेंस यू हैव टू सपोर्ट योर पर्सनल ओपिनियन शुड नॉट बी विजिबल. विमेन्स राइट्स they always get preference until and unless you know the entire details ki why this is not the case. Kyunki historically for decades, centuries, women have been at the wrong end of the stick. They have been twice disadvantaged sections. Twice disadvantaged मतलब double disadvantage. अगर कास्ट है, कोई रिलीजन है, तो वो डिसएडवांटेज है, और वो विमेन है जस्ट बाय बर्थ, that is a disadvantage to them historically. So women's oppression historically, that is no myth, that is no made up thing, etc. That is a reality, है ना? So you have 1,000 years of history versus one particular case study. You have to support. Plus it is also gender justice is one of the constitutional morality, one of the founding principles. Article 15(3) says, Article 15(3) is an exception, no? State can discriminate on the basis of
Gender.
sex. Yes, state can pass any law for the welfare of women and children. So this is also your constitutional duty. You have to support. So for these reasons, be very careful in writing. एक छोटी सी भी गलती ऐसे केस स्टडी में, it can be very very debilitating. Whatever may be your personal views, आंसर के बाहर. आंसर में जस्टिफिकेशन करने के लिए भी मत लिखिए कि मैं जस्टिफाई कर दूंगा ये आपका पेपर जो है वो सोशियो रिलीजियस रिफॉर्म के लिए, सॉरी यूपीएससी के एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म के लिए नहीं पेपर बना है, आपके सिलेक्शन के लिए बना है. ये बात याद रखना बस. रिफॉर्म्स विल हैपन from the top, not from you, at least not by writing in the paper, by writing what is required in the paper, clearing, and then bring a reform. तो
Yes, sir.
एग्जाम सेंटिमेंटल, हाँ, एग्जाम में किसी भी चीज के लिए रिलीजन, कास्ट, जेंडर, डोंट बी सेंटिमेंटल. इवन इफ यू आर अ वुमेन एंड राइटिंग ऑन पेट्रियार्की, अब एकदम फेमिनिस्ट मूवमेंट मत चालू कर दीजिएगा. उसमें भी आपको बैलेंस मेंटेन करना है ना. यू विल मेंटेन a balance. Women rights in India does not mean anti-men rights, है ना. Women empowerment does not mean taking away rights from men. You are just taking what is your right, not somebody else's right. In this context, what steps would you take to discharge your duties? Yes. Now, how to diffuse this situation? Steps to discharge. बताइए. एक एक करके बताइए.
तो पहले तो एडिशनल पुलिस फोर्स टू
नए बच्चों को बताने दीजिए. बहुत लोग चुपचाप जो है. आदि विल टेल. गैलेक्सी, पता नहीं, गैलेक्सी, आईफोन, दिस लुक्स मोर लाइक मोबाइल क्लास देन. ऋषिका, रोहित, रोहताश, श्वेता, सुनिधि, वैश्वी, विक्रम, नहीं विक्रम तो आदित्य. यू पीपल टेल मी one step.
Sir, maintaining law and order.
Okay, maintaining law and order. So just writing maintaining law and order, उससे हो जाएगा क्या? And will you be satisfied with this? I will maintain law and order. How? That is the question.
So maybe,
Huh.
having a meeting with the administration of the shrine once, so that
Okay.
things go smoothly.
Okay, confidence building, having meetings with religious heads of women NGOs, etc. Okay, so that perspectives. ठीक है. One is, let us have a meeting. What else?
Local intelligence.
Local intelligence. आपराधिक तत्वों को पकड़ लीजिए, जो जो वो करने
Yes, sir.
वाले हैं.
Yes, sir.
मंदिर की तैयारी.
हैं?
So, taking my team into confidence, like since there have been so many dilemmas, it's very possible कि मेरे अपने police force के जो जिन लोगों को those who are going to be present on the duty doing their duties, so they'll also have these conflicts. So taking them into the confidence and making clearing it to them कि what is expected from us as
Okay,
police.
leadership. Okay, leadership. You will be leading the yatra or pilgrimage. You will be overseeing its full completion. See, all of you are now again stuck in that cycle of having one step. यहीं पर ethics के आंसर चेंज हो जाते हैं. पहला तो क्या है? Allow women temple entry as per Supreme Court decision. एक स्टेप ये है. इसके प्रोज और कॉन्स लिखेंगे. Second, do not allow women temple entry to protect imminent law and order. आप section 144 लगा देंगे, कोई नहीं जाएगा. And then you will justify this is well within your power, that you fear a law and order concern, there is threat of loss of life, you will apply section 144, nobody will go. You are not denying them the right, you are just protecting everybody's life. इसके pros and cons लिखे आपने. Then step taken by you, and then you will write take religious bodies and its heads into confidence, explain the court's judgment, then make ample security arrangement for the pilgrimage. भाई you want security arrangement, क्योंकि अगर वहां पे कुछ दिक्कत हुई तो सबसे पहले गर्दन किसकी पकड़ी जाएगी?
आपकी
हाँ,
मतलब
because you are the officer. Yes, and मेरी क्यों पकड़ी जाएगी? So yes, the officer in the question, he has to ensure or she has to ensure security arrangement for the pilgrimage. That is his duty also. Then third,
Sir, to prevent any mishap, additional force along with tear gases and water cannons. I mean,
again that is
came in my mind, so I just thought maybe because there are women involved, so बदतमीजी भी हो सकती है.
हाँ, तो वो सिक्योरिटी अरेंजमेंट में आप लिख सकते हैं ये सारी चीजें. यू कैन हैव एम्पल विमेन फोर्स ऑल्सो. इसके अलावा स्ट्रिक्ट विजिल फॉर मिसक्रिएंट्स, रिलीजियस फैनेटिक्स. फिर प्रॉपर परमिशन फॉर पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट टू रिलीजियस डिनोमिनेशन. भाई उनका भी तो ये संवैधानिक अधिकार है. That they protest their violation of fundamental right, but peaceful protest उनके लिए proper permission, कि आप परमिशन लीजिए, जगह तय कीजिए, there should be security arrangement etc for that. Then long term awareness on gender rights. ये तो इमीडिएट सॉल्यूशन हो गए अभी के लिए, बट लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए ये विमेन की आज की समस्या नहीं है. सो देयर शुड बी लॉन्ग टर्म अवेयरनेस ऑन जेंडर राइट्स, और उसके में यू कैन राइट सेवरल पॉइंट्स. ओके, जेंडर राइट्स के अवेयरनेस के लिए जो भी कुछ आप करिए. ओके, एनीथिंग एल्स यू कैन राइट. मीडिया सेंसिटाइजेशन. This should not be blown up out of proportion in media, especially taking care of fake news, social media, hate speech, etc. Conclusion में you can quote any incident of history. Article 15 clause 3 provides for women these rights, etc. Or you can write that gender justice is not just the legal right of women, but also a due social and historical right to be given by society. या ऐसा लिखिए कि gender justice in this case is being given by the court. It is for the society to also give them social and historical rights of which they are disadvantaged for several generations. तो ऐसी बात करके आप खत्म कर दीजिए, ठीक है? Any doubt in this? बोलिए. Yes, no.
सर ऐसी ट्रिकी केस स्टडीज में इम्पैक्टफुल कंक्लूजन कैसे लिखें?
अभी तो बताया इम्पैक्टफुल. कोर्ट ने उनको लीगल राइट दिया, समाज उनको क्या देगा? उनके हिस्टोरिकल राइट्स of which they have been disadvantaged or which have been denied to them for centuries. है ना?
यस.
इसमें आप बहुत सारे एनजीओस के नाम भी लिख सकते हैं, विमेन एनजीओस के एग्जांपल के लिए. You can mention about Sabrimala, Shani Shignapur, you can mention about Haji Ali. All three examples you can mention without taking stand in any of them. You just state as it is. For example, Shani Shignapur, it is allowed. I think Sabrimala is still, it has gone to a bigger bench or something. Okay, so that is all for today. This case study, please write it in this light and in this perspective and submit your answer. On this mail ID. Okay. Thank you for your time and patience.
थैंक यू सर.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.